Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be wrapping up the month of July and telling you all the books that I read. I'm also going to be telling you the couple books that I plan to read in August. I just uploaded a BookTubeAthon TBR. Outside of that week, I only have 2 books that I really want to read this month. I'm not going to make a whole video for 2 books. I'm just going to include them at the end of this video. So I had a fantastic reading month. I read some really great books, and I'm really excited to share with you what I read and what I thought about them. And I'm also really excited to share with you what I'm reading for next month because I'm so excited right now. So let's just get started, shall we? The first book I read this month was The Dorothy Must Die Stories by Danielle, Paige, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. Planned to just read No Place Like Oz, the first novella in this bind-up, and then I found myself reading all 3 of them because I was so excited to finally be learning more about this world and more about these characters that I just didn't want to put it down. So I ended up reading all 3 of them. They all taught me so much about this world that I wasn't getting from the first book. It answered so many questions, and yet those answers gave me more questions. This series is very good at keeping you guessing. The first one follows Dorothy, the second one follows Zelia, who is a servant in the castle, and the third one follows the wizard. I definitely would recommend reading this book if you are planning to read the series. Sometimes novellas are a nice little dash of sprinkles to a series where they're not necessary, but it's nice to have that tidbit of background. This, I feel like, is most definitely necessary for this series. My favorite one, I think, was No Place Like Oz because it was about Dorothy and how she became the villain of Dorothy Must Die. And it was awesome and it was perfect, and I was so excited that I learned why Dorothy was just so twisted and creepy. If you want to learn a little more about the series, I will link my review for Dorothy Must Die down below. This next book I had started in June and I needed to finish it this month, so I went ahead and did that, and that is Shadow Kiss by Richelle Mead. I also gave this book 5 out of 5 stars, more like 6 out of 5 stars. This book was phenomenal. The ending, holy crap. The ending, I just don't even think I can put into words how I feel about this book. This is the 3rd book in her Vampire Academy series, and everyone was telling me that there was like a turning point at the end of this book that was going to sell me for the rest of the series, and I just needed to get to this book. They were absolutely right. I was sold by the 2nd book, but this book, holy crap. Holy crap, I have to go get the next book, Blood Promise, so bad. But I have so many other books I have to read right now, so I have to wait. But I really want to read it because, oh my god, I kind of saw the ending, the twist coming. I was like, no way, she's not gonna do that. She's not gonna do that to us. She wouldn't do that. And then she did, and I was just like, what is life right now? I was reading this on the back porch, and I was screaming and yelling at the book and pacing, and I kept saying, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And I can't handle what's happening. This book is too intense. And then I tweeted about it, and I said, I don't even know how I feel, and I still don't know how I feel. I feel too many feels, I think. If you've read the first 2 and you're kind of iffy on it, or just read the first one and you're kind of iffy on it, continue. This book, the series just explodes. I don't understand where she's going with this. I have an idea where she might be going, but that's crazy. I think she's just crazy enough to do it. I have a review coming for this. I have a review for Frostbite coming as well. I'm just really behind on videos, so I will have a review up for Frostbite and for Shadow Kiss, hopefully by the end of the month, so you can learn more about my thoughts if you are interested. Now this month, one of my most anticipated releases came out, and that was The Heart of Betrayal by Mary E. Pearson. I read the first book, Kiss the Deception, last fall and thoroughly enjoyed it. It was so good. So I obviously had to buy this the day it came out. Then I needed to read it immediately. I had seen that Megan from Megan Precourt had wanted to read this, and so I messaged her and I was like, hey, you want to read it with me? And she was like, okay. And she read it way, way, way faster than I did. I'm a very slow reader. I don't understand how she reads so many things. Her wrap-ups, I'm just like sitting in the corner in shame. I gave this book a 4 out of 5 stars. She really, really, really enjoyed this. She said this was the best sequel she'd ever read. I thought it was a very good sequel as well until I read the next book, so just hold on. I did think it was a very good sequel. It does flesh out a lot more elements of this world, and you do learn a whole lot more about the world without even realizing you're learning about it. Mary E. Pearson does a great job of interweaving world building so you don't even realize that you're learning about the world. Instead of it just being info dumped, she does a really good job building things in a very subdued way so you don't feel like you're being ambushed. I loved the growth of Leah. She was just so bold, and there were times where I just was thinking, Leah, that is going to get you killed if you say that, or if you do that, it's going to get you killed. And she did it anyway because she believed it was best. She just truly stuck to her guns and stood up for herself and what she believed in, and it always somewhat, it paid off in the end. This book has a very, very well done love triangle. So if you don't like love triangles, definitely still give this a try. I've read now 2 books in this series and I still don't really know who I would rather her be with. Usually I pick a side and I'm like gung-ho with them to the end. This one, I'm kind of wavering. I don't really know which one she should pick. I could see her being with either. Either seems like a great decision. I mean, I don't think she could go wrong. I think I might be Team Caden a smidge bit more than Raph. I don't know. Each time something happens, I'm swayed from one to the other. That's what makes a good love triangle, is that I feel just as confused about my 2 options as she does. So I understand what she's going through. I understand why she's having a hard time choosing between the 2. It's not like a blatant pick this person over this person, and that's what makes a good love triangle. So I really did appreciate that, and I'm now going to have to wait ages and a day for the 3rd book to come out because this just came out this month. Now, I had thought that was a very great sequel to The Kiss of Deception until I finished Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas. I gave this book like a 6 to 7 out of 5 stars. This book blew my mind. It was so, oh my goodness. I was screaming at the book so many times and I couldn't believe what was happening, and there was just so much more development, and this world is really taking off, and there is so much more to the story than I ever thought that there would be. In the first book, it's just a tournament for the assassin of the realm, and that's it. There's like a little sprinkling of other elements thrown in there to kind of set up for this rest of the series, and the series just really started to take off in this book. I cannot wait to pick up the next one because this book was freaking tastic. I understand why so many people hype this series up because I really enjoyed this book. I finished this book today and I don't have too much, don't have words. I haven't really comprised my thoughts yet. Queen of Shadows comes out in a month. I can't wait. I think I'm Team Kale. I think I like Kale better. I don't really know though. Everyone seems to be Team Dorian. I really liked her and Kale together. This series is just blowing my mind, and I feel like it's going to just blow it a billion times more. This was my favorite book of the month. So these were the 4 books that I read for the month of July. The 3 books. Then I read Crown of Midnight as an ebook. I had a 4-star book, a like 5 to 6 star book, a 5-star book, and a like 6 to 7 star book. Didn't read a whole lot, but I enjoyed every bit of what I read. And that takes me into what I plan to read for August. I have 2 books that I want to read this month. The first one being The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. Is that not an obvious choice? I did start this. I'm only about 45 pages into it. I'm really enjoying it so far. I believe there's 5 prequel stories to the Throne of Glass series. They take place when she's a little bit younger. Obviously, we're going to learn about Sam and what happened with her and Sam and that whole shebang. They haven't really completely flushed out that whole events timeline, and so getting to hear it firsthand, I'm sure that's going to be one of these stories. Wouldn't you think so? I would think so. So I'm hoping I'm right, because that'd be a bummer if I'm not. This is a big book. Almost the size of an entire another installment to the series. And after I finish that, I plan to read Erafire by Sarah J. Maas. Obviously, because I have to get caught up on the series before September 1st, so I can read Queen of Shadows the day it comes out. I want to read it at the same time as everybody else, and I don't want to be spoiled for anything. This is a really big book. I picked it up at the bookstore and I was like, holy crap. And Queen of Shadows is even longer than this. Oh my goodness, what does that mean for Throne of Glass 5 and 6? This is the 3rd book in the Throne of Glass series, so obviously I can't tell you too much of what it's about. I don't even know what it's about because I don't want to be spoiled for it. Sarah J. Maas has said in some interviews that this was the hardest book for her to write. It was very hard for her to write the storyline for Selena and what was happening with her, and that she had cried quite a bit while writing the story, and so that kind of terrifies me. So these are the 2 books that I plan to read for the month of August outside of my BookTubeAthon TBR. So if you'd like to see what I plan to read for the BookTubeAthon, I will link that video in the down bar below so you can check that out as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Until next time, I will talk to you very soon. Bye guys! Second one follows Zelia, who is, nope, that's not her name. What is her name? It does flesh out becomes the king, my face itches. Yeah, no. Blah, 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 blah. Shakalaka.